Yo, what is up, all you amazing people out there? So, my name is Jamie Paulson, and I'm back here on a day when school is canceled. So, I don't know why I pointed up, that was weird. But I thought I would make another YouTube video since I have the time. So, since a lot of you down in the comments and let me know that you wanted to see and hear part 2 to the Gorge Moves to Philadelphia story, so I thought I would do that. So if you haven't seen that video, you can see it right there, I think, probably. I'm going to put a link to it right there, and also down in the comments, or not the comments, down in the description down below, you can also check that out, and I'll link to it at the end of this video, since YouTube does that thing where it only lets you do it like 20 seconds before the video ends. So in that section, I'll put a link to it. But yeah, so before I move on with the thrilling story, I thought I would recap real quick what we learned in part 1. So, Gorge moved to Philadelphia from where else he used to live. His grandma makes horrible oatmeal cookies. There's a skateboarder that apparently smells like cupcakes. There's a magical dog that can camouflage. Gorge has a cat named Garbanzo, and Gorge's grandma used to collect elephants from the zoo, but then had to move to Oklahoma because she had so many elephants. But then she moved back to Philadelphia because she missed them. So that's basically what we know so far. And for some reason, I stopped doing chapters after a certain point. Like, I think there's only 6 chapters because I just forgot to keep keep having chapters. But there's this one person in the comments, I think Juggy Dones or something, keeps wanting me to do an Irish accent in my videos. So at some point during this reading, I'm probably going to do some kind of Irish accent. So you're welcome, Juggy. This is for you. Alright. Chapter 5. Am I covering up the light? Here we go. I'm going to try to face the camera. Alright, here we go. Meanwhile, Gorge was trying to tech his brother now games, but Gorge's broror didn't get any of them. Not even care wash or no talking. Then Gorge visited Grandma, but on his way in Sid, he tricked on a dead monkey. My gosh. Apparently she collects elephants and dead monkeys or something. I don't know. Gorge wasn't expecting to step on a dead monkey. Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'm with you, Gorge. Just then, Grandma came out Sid and gave Gorge a big hug. Then Grandma gave Gorge some broccoli. Oh, said Gorge. Excuse me. Then Gorge said to Grandma, "Can I have some Brussels sprouts?" In Gorge's spare time, when he wasn't in school or doing homework, he liked to dance and write songs. Alright, that had nothing to do with the story, but, you know, there it was. Then Gorge asked Grandma, "When did Grandpa die?" Oh my gosh. That's so morbid. Grandma said, in 1189. He died, like, oh my gosh, like hundreds of years before Grandma was even alive. How is that even possible? Oh my gosh, that's here, take a look at this. I don't know if you can see it, but 1189. That's when Grandpa died, apparently. Jeez. Wow, said Gorge. That was a long time ago. Yes, it was, said Grandma. Chapter 6. When Gorge left, he stepped on the dead monkey again. Gorge forgot about the dead monkey. When Gorge got home, his mom said, "I have a surprise for you." It was a pet monkey. Oh my goodness. "Thank you," said Gorge. "You're welcome," said Gorge's mom. "I have another surprise." "What?" "We're going to visit Aunt Carol for 2 weeks," said Gorge's mom, sorry. One of Gorge's favorite part about Aunt Carol was that she had a really, really, really big castle. So it's easy to win in hide and seek. Another thing Gorge loved about Aunt Carol was she made really good brownies. They weren't as good as Gorge's dad's brownies, but they were still good. For those of you who don't know, my dad makes amazing brownies, and at the time, he probably made them a lot for like school events and stuff like that, and people love them no matter where we go, so I think this is very heavily based on my dad's brownies. So, alright, but they were still good. Another thing Gorge liked about Aunt Carol was she had a big golden retriever. Gorge was always excited to see her. The day Gorge went to Carol's castle, Aunt Carol was waiting outside with her dog. After Gorge said hi, and had a snack. I put periods in the weirdest places. He started looking for the things he had left there last summer. He looked upstairs and he looked downstairs. He couldn't find the stuff until he saw it in the right corner of the basement. "I remember this stuff," said Gorge. Inside the chest was all his trophies from Little League and a video of Gorge playing in Little League. Gorge missed the old days when he was in Little League. Oh my gosh, I say Little League too many times. Then Aunt Carol came into the basement and said, Gorge, it's time for dinner." "Oh boy," said Gorge. Gorge loved Carol's chicken noodle soup at dinner because it had noodles and french fries and gummy worms and baby deer brains. Oh my gosh. "Yum," said Gorge again. Aunt Carol was surprised that Gorge ate all his soup. Said Gorge again. "Why do you say so much?" said Carol. "Because I like the word," said Gorge. "It's such a fun word to say," said Gorge. After dinner, Gorge went down back to the basement to see his baseball stuff again. Before long, it was time to go back home. When they got home, Gorge's mom had a surprise. Wow, she's just full of surprises. "Guess what, Gorge?" "What?" "We're going to see Alec Cooper." "Sweet," said Gorge. When Gorge got to the concert, he heard Alice Cooper sing "School's Out for Summer," another great heavy metal song. Alice Cooper is not a heavy metal artist. He's like a classic rock kind of guy. Okay, just to explain this real quick, why it's such a random person. At the time, I was probably watching The Muppet Show, which is still one of my favorite TV shows ever, and Alice Cooper was one of the guest stars, and when I wrote this chapter, I was probably watching that episode, so that's just a bit of background information in case you were wondering why I chose Alice Cooper. And that was like the only song that I knew by him, so that's why I said "School's Out for Summer" and other great songs, because that's the only song I knew. Alright, back to the story. Another great heavy metal songs. When Gorge went home, he went down to the basement to see if he had anything special in there and there. 12 minutes later, he found a trunk with a smiley face on it on the top. He opened the trunk and found a remote inside. He pressed a button and a UFO landed outside his house. Oh my goodness! This is so exciting! He went to the window and saw a cat with a cape and a lightning bolt on his forehead. And when the cat stepped outside, 8 little kittens followed behind him. He heard the cat say, "Okay, now I want a good score at the end of the week." "Okay," said the first kitten. "I wonder what a good score means." So he went upstairs and opened the door a crack so he could not be seen, and so he could get a better look. Just then, his mom whacked to the door and went outside. When Gorge's mom whacked outside, she scared the cat. "Oh no, what's gonna happen?" "Well, at least that's taken care of," said Gorge. When Gorge and his mom went inside, Gorge asked, "Are we doing anything special tonight?" "Yes. Excuse me," said Gorge's mom. "We're going to the Bob Schmeichels for dinner." "Oh boy," said Gorge. The Bob Schmeichels lived right across the street from Gorge. Mr. and Mrs. Bob Schmeichel have 2 kids named Jonathan and Tony. Tony was 10 and Jonathan was 12. They both looked the same except for one thing: their eyes. Tony had glasses which he hated because they kept drooping down to his nose, and Jonathan had freckles all around both his eyes. When it was time for dinner, Tony's mom called them both for dinner, and they didn't come. "They must be in their rooms." So Mrs. Bob Schmeichel went upstairs and knocked on their doors. When she looked in Tony's room, he was listening to his iPod. When she looked in Jonathan's room, he was listening to his iPod too. "Would you stop listening to your iPods? We have guests." "Oh, Mom," said Tony. "I couldn't hear you." "Get off your iPods, you goofballs! We have guests! Now help me set the table." "Okay," they both said. At dinner, Tony shot some mashed potatoes in Gorge's hair. "Hey, Tony, you know better than that! Now apologize and go up to your room." So Tony did just that. After dinner, Gorge invited the Bob Schmeichels to his house. Mr. and Mrs. Bob Schmeichel agreed, and so did Gorge's parents. So the Bob Schmeichels went to Gorge's house. When they got there, Gorge asked the 2 boys, "Do you want to see what is in my basement?" "Okay," they both said. When they went down to the basement, Gorge showed them the trunk with the remote inside. "Press that button," said Gorge. "Now look that window." "Oh my God," said Tony. "Oh my God, it's a UFO." "Yup," said Gorge. "But this time no cats came out." "Huh?" said Gorge. "He usually come out." And by usually, he means he saw it happen once. Just then, it was time for Tony and his brother to leave. But right before they were going out the door, Gorge ran up the stairs as fast as he could. He ran through the kitchen, through the dining room, and just caught them in time. "Her," said Gorge. "What is it?" said Tony. "It's an invitation to my birthday party." "Sorry, Gorge, we can't come." "Why?" said Gorge. "Because we'll be in Mexico." "Doing what?" "Studying and trying to find the rare fish. It's called the red grider. No fisher has ever caught it." My grandpa caught an octopus once, but it ate him, said Gorge. When the Bobschmichels left, Gorge went up to his upstairs. Brodsmishime. I don't know what that word means or says. Oh, brushed his teeth and went to bed. The next day, Gorge was excited because it was Saturday. On Saturdays, Gorge always went fishing with his dad. But this time, he couldn't because Gorge's dad was sick. So Gorge had to stay home and watch boring stuff on TV. This sucks, said Gorge. Just then, the phone rang. It was for Gorge's mom, so he didn't pick it up. After Gorge watched TV, he went into the basement. And right beside the stairs was a box. So George opened it. Inside was a book. The title was Escape to Villainville. I don't remember reading this book. It sounds interesting. So he read the book. It was a good book. That was a good book, said Gorge. There were some weird parts, but it was still good. Just then, Gorge's mom came into the basement. She came down to say, Gorge, let's go. Go where? Asked Gorge. To New York, remember? To adopt a baby brother? Oh yeah, I forgot. Is Dad coming? He's already in the car. So they went to New York. Through all the people at the airport and to the Adoaping home. But they couldn't find their baby. Where is he? They all look the same. Then a man with freckles and glasses whacked up to them. Hello. There your baby is in the crib. Oh wait, hang on, let me try that again. Hello. There your baby is in the crib. Right now, follow me, and I'll show you where it is. On their way home, the baby started whacking Gorge with his rattle. Ouch! Stop that, said Gorge. Hey, you little... Ow! Oh! Not the eye! Ouch! When Gorge got home, he saw two guys dressed in white and black. They look like robbers, said Gorge. And their names were Gorton and Henry. Henry had black gloves and Gordon had white gloves. Gorge couldn't see what they were doing, so he went closer. Smart idea, Gorge. But just then, a third robber named Timmy stopped him. And where do you think you're going, little boy? Said the third robber. To my house, said Gorge. A few minutes later, Gorge heard the doorbell ring. It was the Bobschmichels. Hi, Gorge. We got a picture of the Red Grider. We also got you a present, said Tony. Oh my gosh! It's a toy truck with a solar panel, said Gorge. Thank you. You're welcome, said Tony. Just then, Gorge's brother whacked up to the door and said, oh boy, Ambazizi Aushababalulululululu. The Bobschmichels started to laugh, and so did Gorge's mom and dad. Then the baby said, What are you laughing at, you Bobschmichel? How he do that, Gorge? Said Tony. I don't know. He's never said those things before. What are you looking at, you Bobschmichel? Alright. That's enough for one day. We got through about 45 pages, I think. It's quite a lot. So I think I'm gonna leave this video here. If you liked it, make sure to give it a big ol' thumbs up down below. And leave a comment down below if you want to see a part 3. There aren't really many natural stopping points, so I had to kind of cut it off mid-sentence because I start saying like, and just then, like right after I stopped. So, make sure you comment down below and subscribe to my channel for videos every Friday, or pretty much every Friday. I have a music video coming on the way, which will probably be sometime in March, or maybe, yeah, it'll probably be finished by March. So be on the lookout for that, and make sure to check out part 1 of the Gorge Moves to Philadelphia story if you haven't already seen that. And yeah, have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye!